It's my first time ever working on a car. My car was leaking a lot of oil. It's a 1995 Toyota Camry 2.2 liter 4-cylinder LE, and I probably said that all out of order because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I was fairly confident that I had an oil leak coming from the what they call the oil cooler, which in my understanding is what this is. And you can pretty easily see right there the washer is pretty badly misshapen, so it's pretty easy to understand why that was leaking. And it looks like it's all corroding. It's just falling apart as I'm pulling it out of there. So how it actually fits in there is this part here. I'm sure this has a name that I don't know. Goes down into it. And I took it out completely wrong, it turns out. Your first step, once you take the oil filter off, the oil filter. So, oil filter goes in there. Oil filter sits on top of here, screws on, is to loosen this up, and that takes a 30 millimeter socket. And you're going to want to get, this is a 1/2 inch, it goes on a 1/2 inch ratchet. You're going to want to get a big long extender for it. This is a 10 inch, and that worked pretty well. And that'll save you some hassle. And so, the first thing once you get this oil filter off is you want to crank on that, because you don't want to do what I just did. It goes over, let's see, it's going to be real dark down in there. I probably should get like a flashlight. We got the two coolant hoses here. They were just really bare to get off, and I took them off before I took the oil cooler off. And I think what I actually could have done was taken it off, and I used some vice grips or some clamps on these parts here, and then I think you could actually just pull that whole thing off. Whereas me, as you can see, I damaged this. I think it's still going to be okay if I don't damage it anymore. But I think when I put it back on there, what I'll do is I'll clamp these, slip it on there, and then put it back on. There is one bolt right here that you have to take off behind there. And so I think that's all I need to say without rambling on. But yeah, if you looked under my car, oh, coolant. You won't be able to probably see this without light. I found where the coolant plug was for the radiator by looking at the holes down there, and I don't know if it's because I damaged my car or not, but the coolant went out, didn't go out just one hole, it went out all the holes. And there's apparently a secondary coolant plug that I didn't know about, and so when I took this off, coolant poured out, and I'm going to have a little bit of a mess to clean up. So, don't be dumb like me. Well, Camry, let's get another 100,000 miles out of you.